Thank you, Madam Chair. And let me also associate myself with the remarks commending you and the ranking member for your hard work on this important legislation and also your bipartisanship in working with the ranking member. And so I just want to put that on the record as well. Of course, Mr. Cuellar is not the easiest one to work with sometimes.
Hey, you were doing fine. Stop where you're ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to offer this amendment. The U.S. Coast Guard relies on organizations called Marine Classification Societies to serve as agents of our government in conducting more than 3,500 statutory inspections per year on U.S.-flagged merchant vessels. These inspections verify that a vessel is in compliance with both international maritime conventions and domestic legal requirements for safety and the environment. These organizations operate around the globe and establish standards for design, construction, and maintenance of ships, oil platforms, and other marine structures. The American Bureau of Shipping, headquartered in Houston, is the only U.S.-based recognized organization. Meanwhile, several foreign-based classification societies have established memorandums of understanding with the U.S. Coast Guard to conduct these inspections on the Coast Guard's behalf. Unfortunately, U.S. law does not preclude these foreign-based organizations from simultaneously representing the U.S. government and certain governments which are known to sponsor terrorism, namely Iran, North Korea, Syria, and Northern Sudan. An organization representing both the United States and Iran on matters of governmental oversight clearly runs contradictory to U.S. policy. The Shipping Inspections Act that I introduced in September with bipartisan support would prohibit the U.S. Coast Guard from delegating from organizations that also provide these services on behalf of Iran, Northern Sudan, Syria, and North Korea. If organizations do business with oppressive, sanctioned regimes, they should not be allowed to do business with the United States. So let's close this loophole that allows foreign-based classification societies to do business both with the United States and these oppressive terror-sponsoring governments. And with that, Madam Chair, let me again thank you for the opportunity, and I yield back my time.
Any other further discussion on this amendment? Again, I just want to offer my support for this legislation as well. I think the gentleman is looking at, as you mentioned, a loophole, really, which could compromise our security, port security, homeland security as well. And so I think that any of these societies, these classification societies working on our own vessels and conducting inspections for our government has to make sure that they're not working with some of these rogue governments, rogue nations. So I also am very supportive of this amendment. If there is no further discussion, the question now occurs to the amendment in the nature of a substitute offered by the gentleman from Texas, Mr. McCaul. Those in favor will signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed will say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment is agreed to.